Hi, welcome back to our class. Today we are going to continue with the next sections of strategic attack. In our previous class, we have finished on the supreme strategy. Now let us move on to the 5 ways to victory. First, Sun Tzu said, "Who knows when we can engage in battle and when not to do so will win." As a general, you must know when is the good timing or right time to attack and defend. If you cannot make the right decisions, the whole troop will be gone and lost in the battle. It is the same in the business environment. If top management made the wrong decisions when entering the market, the products or services will not get good response from the consumers. Then the company might lose or remove from the market. For instance, most companies signing in frustration when entering China market because it is harder to enter than expected. They might find a bit of comfort in knowing that many of the greatest companies on the planet have misread the market and failed in the China. Here are some of the examples. First, JYSK, the largest Danish discount retailer of bathing equipment, has had a hard time in China so far. It seems that the Chinese middle class is not interested in buying foreign discount products. Now, JYSK is trying something very new for the company, moving a little upscale. Global giants can fail miserably in China too. Second, the Toyota Yaris is a popular compact car in Denmark and the rest of the Europe, but it failed completely in China. Initially, Toyota had hoped to sell millions to middle-class consumers. However, it failed to achieve it. Apparently, the consumer claims that the Yaris is more expensive than most entry-level cars. Its design and appearance was too modern and functional to appeal to Chinese car buyers. So, Toyota is now trying to get a foothold in China with a different, cheaper model, the Etios, a model which originally developed for the Indian market. Third, the Barbie dolls also didn't make it either. In 2009, Mattel, the American toy producer, created a spectacular 6-story, 3,300 square showroom in Shanghai and launched with the fanfare of a Gucci or Prada store. But 2 years later, Mattel had to pull the plug. At the time, Barbie was still relatively unknown in China, yet Mattel launched the entire lineup of Barbie products at once, including sections for girls and adult women, collector's items, a restaurant, and sections for clothing and furniture. It also launched a localized Barbie, Ling, with Chinese features. The failure has mainly been explained as a failure to position Barbie in a way that appealed to Chinese girls and models. Barbie didn't have the status of a culture icon in China, and the style she represented didn't appeal to all women. Consequently, there was not sufficient interest in paying high prices for collector's item dresses and expensive Barbie merchandise. Fourth, McDonald's. Western visitors to China will quickly notice that KFC is a much larger fast food brand than McDonald's. While in both Europe and the US, McDonald's rules in the market and KFC struggled to make profit. KFC came early to China back in 1987, and it quickly adopted a strategy of offering a menu with a lot of traditional Chinese dishes, such as congee, rice pudding, and spicy tofu, mixed with the American-style fried chickens. There are currently about 4,400 KFC outlets in China and a 39% market share in fast food restaurants. In comparison, McDonald's has a 15% market share and about 1,750 stores in China only. For years, McDonald's insisted on its one-size-fits-all policy of offering an identical experience no matter where on the globe. For starters, chicken is more popular than beef, so hamburgers will harder sell. In recent years, McDonald's has started to allow its local franchises to create menus that reflect local tastes. In China, McDonald's launched a new menu with a greater emphasis on chicken, wraps, and rice dishes. They learned that Chinese are fond of eating chicken. Last but not least, in 2004, eBay had made a major effort to launch their auctions service in China. Jack Ma, the owner of Alibaba, is afraid that eBay may eventually go after its business. The web service connecting outsourcing professionals to manufacturers in China, he decided to launch a Chinese version of eBay, which was named Taobao. eBay spent heavily on advertising, but Taobao only had a couple that make it more suited for the Chinese users. Whereas eBay charged a fee for listing and transactions, Taobao was free. It worked much better on mobile phones, which many Chinese use for internet access, and the way the sites were organized closer matched to the logic that Chinese consumers would use to navigate and search. Furthermore, Taobao offered an escrow payment scheme to establish trust among the strangers that exchange goods on the site. The buyer pays the price to the account at Taobao, and the amount will not be released until the buyer has received and is satisfied with the deal. All in all, Taobao won because eBay did not have the local insight needed to create features, which made the service easier and safer for the Chinese user. Finally, eBay withdrew from China in 2006. Those were the examples to share with you. The second winning way is who can understand how to deploy large and small forces will win. As Sun Wu said, a good leader knows how to tailor the different strategies in different situations. In today's business environment, the company should execute different strategy in different markets and with different target market. For example, Dunkin' Donuts is riding the wave of a booming coffee market by moving its restaurant upscale and expanding the number of outlets. Dunkin' shows early signs of success based on a strategy that does not mimic Starbucks, but focuses on a different set of customers altogether. Moreover, what Dunkin' has found is that there are indeed two different kinds of coffee buying customers, and never the two shall meet. Dunkin's recognize that they cannot appeal to all buyers in the marketplace, or at least not all buyers in the same way. Buyers are too numerous, too widely scattered, and too varied in their needs and buying practices. Dunkin's identify the parts of the market and it can serve best and most profitable. It needs to design strategies to build the right relationship with the right customers. Like most companies, Dunkin's has moved away from mass marketing toward market segmentation and targeting. Identifying market segments, selecting one or more of them, and developing products and marketing programs tailored to each. Third, Sun Tzu said, who is able to unite himself with his officer and men as one mind, spirit, and purpose will win. Sun Tzu says, if the general could unite all together with same direction and goals, it is easier to achieve success. So, he said that regardless of top management or bottom employees, everyone has to know what the company objective and direction are. If not, the company will lose the direction and gradually lose the market share as well. Simply put, get everyone on your team rowing in the same direction. Like it or not, all teams are potentially dysfunctional if they can't move towards the same directions. This is inevitable because they are mega of fallible, imperfect human beings. From the basketball court to the executive suites, politics and confusions are more rule than the exceptions. But the power of teamwork is great. One of the founders of a billion-dollar company best expressed that if you could get all the people in the organization rowing in the same direction, you could dominate any industry, in any market, against any competitions at any time. Next, Sun Tzu also said that who is proactive and well prepared and awaits his unprepared enemy will win. Sun Tzu believed that when you are well prepared for everything, you will have higher possibility to win towards your enemy. For example, provide good training and development for the troops to make sure that their quality is under satisfactory level. Just like today's organizations, training and development are very vital in any organization that aims at progressing. Through training and development, the employees acquires all the knowledge and skill needed in their day-to-day tasks. Workers can perform at a faster rate and with more efficiency, thus increasing overall productivity of the company. They also can gain new tactics of overcoming challenges when they're facing it. So, early preparation is very important to face challenges in the future. The last winning way, Sun Tzu said, is the one who is capable and does not have to contend with interference by the ruler will win. Sun Tzu highlighted this because he found that a lot of leaders, after they appointed or assigned the job to their followers, still frequently interrupt their ideas and limit their decisions as well. When leaders always influence, it might limit their creativity and their satisfaction on their responsive job or task, like how Google inspired their employees' creativity with extremely relaxed and flexible working environment around the world. Sun Tzu believed that all the winning strategy must be executed by a good leader. How to become a good leader and why leader is so important for nation and troops. As Sun Tzu said, the general is like the guardian of the nation. If the guardian is a truthful and detailed person, the nation will be strong and mighty. However, if the guardian is full with character flaw, the nation will be weak and vulnerable. For example, the founding father of Singapore, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, under his leadership, he successfully is transitioning Singapore from third world to the first world country in a single generation. Today, Singapore has a highly developed market economy based historically on extended entrepot trade. Along with Hong Kong, South Korea, and Taiwan, Singapore is one of the original 4 Asian tigers. The Singaporean economy is known as one of the freest, most innovative, most competitive, and most business-friendly. The 2015 Index of Economic Freedom ranks Singapore as the second freest economy in the world, behind Hong Kong. According to the Corruption Perception Index, Singapore is consistently ranked as one of the least corrupted countries in the world. Singapore is the 14th largest exporter and the 15th largest importer in the world. The country has the highest trade to GDP ratio in the world at 407.9%, signifying the importance of trade to the economy. The country is currently the only Asian country to receive AAA credit ratings from all 3 major credit ratings agencies, Standard & Poor's, Moody's, Fitch. Singapore is a world leader in several economic areas. The country is the world's 4th leading financial center, the world's 2nd largest casino gambling market, one of the world's top 3 oil refining centers, the world's largest oil-rich producer, and major hub for ship repair services. The World Bank has named Singapore as the easiest place in the world to do business and ranked Singapore the world's top logistic hub. Singapore has the world's highest percentage of millionaires, with 1 out of every 6 households is having at least $1 million in disposable wealth. This excludes property, business, and luxury goods, which if included would increase the number of millionaires, especially as property in Singapore is the most expensive around the world. Singapore does not have a minimum wage. Believe that it would lower its competitiveness. It also has one of the highest income inequalities among developed countries, being below Hong Kong and above the United States. Singapore traditionally has one of the lowest unemployment rate among developed countries. The Singaporean unemployment rate has not exceeded 4% in the past decade, hitting a high of 3% during the 2009 global financial crisis and falling to the 1.9% in 2011. For a small island country, its achievement is really amazing. Last but not least, the last theory we are going to discuss in this chapter is one of the most popular quotes but always been confused by the public. Sun Tzu said, "Who knows the other side and knows himself will not be defeated in 100 battles. Who does not know the other side but knows himself will have even chance of victory or defeat. Who does not know the other side and himself is bound to be defeated in every battle." So, it is very simple. If you can understand your strengths or weaknesses and your enemy as well, then you can be sure that you won't be defeated by your enemy. But remember that Sun Tzu never said you will surely win. If you just understand about yourself only, you still have 50 over 50 to win or lose. But if you don't understand yourself and your enemy, you will defeat by your enemy easily. So in business, it is also like that. When you enter to any market, you need to understand their background and culture first, especially for those high investment projects. For example, developing markets such as India are an important source of growth for Unilever. The company is adopting unique marketing approaches to increase consumption of its products in these regions, positioning itself as an ethical brand that benefits wider society. Unilever's Lifebuoy Sonia Channel campaign is one of the examples. It educates people on the importance of health and hygiene in preventing diarrhea and encourages them to adopt a simple hand washing regime using soap. Sonia Channel is India's largest ever rural health and hygiene education program. Diarrhea is the world's leading preventable cause of death, killing 2.2 million people every year, including 600,000 Indian children under the age of 5. According to a study by the London School of Tropical Hygiene, washing hands with soap and water can reduce instances of diarrhea by 47%. Many potential Lifebuoy customers live in remote rural areas which can be hard to reach through conventional media. Ogilvy worked with Lifebuoy to create a direct communication campaign specially designed to raise awareness among India's largely rural and often illiterate populations. Lifebuoy health officers visited 43,000 Indian villages and schools over 5 years, where they used product demonstrations, interactive visuals, competitions, and drama workshops to spread the health and hygiene message. The program is based on the simple insight that visible clean is not actual clean, which was brought alive through a special glow germs UV demo. Glow germ powder was used to represent the germs. The hand was washed with water were still glowing under the ultraviolet lamps, this symbolizing the germs are still on their hands, while the other hands were washed with soap. There were nothing glowing under the ultraviolet lamps. The program has reached 110 million rural Indians since it began in 2002. Awareness of germs has increased by 30% and soap use has increased among 79% of parents and among 93% of children in the area targeted. Soap consumption has increased by 15%. The campaign received recognition for its innovation and effectiveness, winning silver in the Rural Marketing Advertisers Association of India Awards in 2006 and the grand prize at the Asian CSR Award 2007. It was also recognized by the Indian government, who created a special edition poster cover dedicated to the campaign. With this program, Lifebuoy success penetrated this market and become a key player in the India market. If you know the weaknesses of your enemy and your strengths, then you can get victory easily in the battle. Okay, that's all for Chapter 3. See you all next class. Thanks.